Hi, hello, welcome to today's video. Happy Halloween. When I'm filming this, it is actually Halloween today, October 31st. So happy Halloween, and I'm a little late to the game, but definitely hope you guys had a safe and fun Halloween. But anyways, today we're gonna be watching Chilling Scares. I just feel like there's nothing there's nothing scarier than like real life, especially when it comes to like ring camera footage. You just never know when someone's trying to do you harm or what the other person is thinking. You just never know. The video is called 8 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Ring Doorbell. No. Ugh. The video is called 8 Most Disturbing Things Caught on Doorbell Camera Footage. So this one's gonna be a good one. I already know. Have your snacks, your drinks, whatever you're having, and yeah, we'll get straight into it. Let's see.
On November 30th, 2021, a Twitter user from Dallas reported that her doorbell camera had recorded a suspicious man standing outside of her apartment almost every night for an entire month. According to her tweet, she had already reached out to the authorities, but they hadn't done enough to keep the man away. This is what her Ring camera captured.
My God. Like, who do you guys think that is? Is it like her ex-boyfriend? Does she know this person? Like, why does he keep coming specifically to her door and doing this on a consistent basis? Like, that's terrifying, especially if you live alone. Like, you're single living by yourself. That's terrifying. Like, imagine just you can't even go to the grocery store, you can't even leave without thinking he's there or he's gonna be there when you come back. He doesn't even say anything, he's just there staring. Like, is he just waiting for her to come out or something? What is he doing?
In most of the clips, the man can be seen standing eerily still outside of the woman's apartment, possibly waiting for her to come outside. At one point in the video, the man can be heard talking, but his words are difficult to make out.
All I heard was hi at the beginning and then like heavy breathing after.
It's unknown what he planned to do if the woman stepped out of her apartment, but judging by his behavior, it likely wasn't anything good. After the original upload, the disturbing video immediately went viral, with hundreds of people checking in on the woman to make sure she was safe. 2 days later, the woman posted an update on Twitter, in which she mentioned that her friends and family had confronted the man, and that security had been on the lookout for him. Many people who viewed the video urged the uploader not to let her guard down, and reminded her that the likelihood that the man would show up again was very high. But after the last tweet in December 2021, there haven't been any more updates, and the man's identity hasn't been publicly revealed.
Crazy, like he has to live there, right? If he's continuously coming in. Like, it seems like a building where like a lot of apartments nowadays, you have to have a code or like a fob, something to get into the building. You can't just go in. Like, not everyone. It's very like supposed to be more secure. So to me, it seems like maybe he lives here and that's why he's constantly coming up. Like, it's a little weird.
This clip was captured in November 2019 in Harriet Creek Ranch, Texas. It was later uploaded to TikTok and Facebook. The footage shows a little girl holding a flashlight and knocking on the door of an unoccupied house in the middle of the night.
Why does she have a flashlight?
Help, please.
She keeps looking back.
Please help.
The girl is obviously scared, but because nobody else can be seen on the camera, it's hard to tell who or what she was running from. As she continues to knock and beg for help, she looks over her shoulder several times, but the footage ends abruptly, leaving many questions unanswered. Shortly after it was recorded, the video was made public and police were notified of the incident, but from what I was able to find, the girl was never identified. Some think that she was being used as bait to get the homeowners to open the door, and several people commented on Facebook and TikTok that they could clearly see a man hiding in the shadows behind the girl, but it was never confirmed whether that's what was happening or if the little girl was actually in danger and genuinely asking for help.
Yeah, but I feel like nowadays you can't trust anyone, even like a little child. Sometimes they use them, like you said, as bait. Like you really don't know. I feel like the safest thing to do nowadays, because you never know, maybe she does need help, but I feel like the safest thing to do for yourself and for her is to stay inside, lock doors, but just call the police ASAP. Either way, they'll come and investigate. She does need help, they can help her out. Like, you come out there, what if something happens to you? You just don't know. And then I feel like people really manipulate around the idea that if there's a kid in need, everyone wants to go help, but it's just the middle of the night with a flashlight, and then someone was saying they could see someone behind. I don't see anything. I feel like it's too dark, but it's scary nowadays. You can't even help without wondering, and like, is something gonna happen to me?
Another theory that surfaced is that the girl in the video might have been the same girl from a missing person case in South Dakota. In February 2019, a 9-year-old girl named Serenity Denard ran away from a youth home in Black Hills and was allegedly seen in Justin, Texas a few days before the video was recorded. The fact that the little girl knocked on the door of an unoccupied house shows that she clearly didn't live in the area. Otherwise, she would have known nobody was there, which makes this theory a possibility. Although there's definitely a resemblance between the girl in the video and Serenity, police didn't confirm whether the video and the missing person case were related. Unfortunately, not a lot of official information on this footage has been made public, and we'll likely never know what ended up happening to the little girl.
Oh, that's so sad.
In this disturbing Ring camera footage from 2021, a woman in a hoodie can be seen approaching the front door of a house in the middle of the night. Behind her, a man wearing a face mask
I think I've seen this one.
stands on the steps as she rings the doorbell. Doorbell cameras are meant for homeowners to see who's at their door and communicate with their visitors to decide whether or not it's a good idea to let them in. But in this case, the owner opens the door without hesitation.
No. You're about to see why you're not supposed to be doing this.
Do y'all have a phone I can use? My car broke down, and y'all's the only one that got a light on.
We don't.
You don't?
Sorry.
See, this is... I've seen so many videos where people with good faith open up the door. They think, okay, nothing's gonna happen. There's just someone that needs help. And then this is what happens. This is what happens. You just don't know if you can trust anyone. It's not safe.
The woman tells him that her car broke down and asks if she can use his phone. The owner politely refuses, but as soon as he apologizes and closes the door, the man with the face mask tries to break into the house with a weapon in hand. Fortunately, the owner had locked the second door just in time. It's unknown if he called the police, but from what I could find, the identities of the man and woman haven't been revealed. What makes this footage even more chilling is the fact that there's a playground in the yard, which means the two had specifically targeted a house where they knew there would most likely be kids inside. Had the homeowner not reacted quickly, he and his family would have probably been the victims of an armed robbery or possibly much worse.
No. Yes, please do not open the doors when someone's knocking, unless you know them. But if you do not know and it's a complete stranger, just call the cops or, use the Ring camera or whatever you can to like talk through there. But don't open the door because they can just try and barge in.
In February 2020, an off-duty police officer received a message from his neighbor asking him to go check on his wife because somebody was trying to break into their house and the woman was home alone. The man immediately walked across the street to his neighbor's house, but didn't see anything suspicious. When he came back, he saw that his neighbor had sent him this clip.
What the fuck? Why would you climb up the stairs? Just walk them. Why'd he crawl up?
The video
That's
shows
weird.
a shirtless man crawling up the stairs to the front entrance of the house and attempting to open the door. Realizing it's locked, he walks back down the stairs and makes his way to the side of the house. After viewing the footage, the man immediately called 911, and 10 minutes later, 4 officers arrived in the neighborhood with a canine unit to help track down the intruder. What followed was an intense game of cat and mouse involving the neighbors, the police, and the shirtless man. Although he was spotted by the neighbors multiple times, he managed to slip away from the cops every single time. Several minutes
Every single time he slipped through your fingers. Come on.
into the search, the man heard his neighbor calling from across the street, saying that he could hear someone in his backyard. The 2 men scoured the outside of the house and eventually found that the back porch light had been unscrewed, but the shirtless man was nowhere to be seen. About an hour later, the man who uploaded the video walked out onto his back deck and spotted the intruder unscrewing another porch light, this time from the house across the street.
Why is he unscrewing the light bulbs? You think that he thinks, oh, if I unscrew it, they can't see me no more because there's no light back here. Like, there's night vision. They're still gonna see you. Why?
With weapon in hand, the man intercepted the intruder and ordered him to get on the ground, but the shirtless man took off running and ended up sneaking into the crawl space of a nearby house. The uploader waited until the police arrived, and after he was ordered out of the crawl space, the intruder was charged with 2 counts of aggravated burglary, trespassing,
They got
public
him.
intoxication, and disorderly conduct. Police revealed that the subject was under the influence of hard drugs, and had an outstanding warrant for failing to appear in court for another open case of burglary from earlier that same year. It's unclear if he was convicted of all the charges against him, but considering his criminal history, it's more than likely that he's still serving time today.
Crazy. I mean, at least they got him because he kept slipping through the cops' fingers, and then, or at least he's behind bars.
This footage
That's
was
just
captured
scary.
at 4:30 a.m. on April 29th, 2023. It happened in El Paso, Texas. The video shows a young woman running up to the front door of a house and ringing the doorbell. Although nobody else can be seen in the frame, terrified, she looks over her shoulder multiple times as if she was being followed.
Am I crazy or does she look like she's wearing like a party dress? Some type of dress. She looks terrified. Maybe someone's following her. Oh, she's been crying. She's been crying. Oh no, she's trying to hide. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
The woman begs for help and starts crying when nobody answers the door, and a few seconds later, a car's headlights come into view in the background. As soon as she sees the light, the woman crouches down behind a column, and she does the same thing again when she sees the neighbor's driveway lights turn on.
I feel like maybe someone was following her. She ran off. God.
After a few minutes of waiting, a car's headlights illuminate the driveway, and the woman walks down the steps towards it. It's possible that she got in the car, but this wasn't caught on the Ring camera. As soon as the footage was made public, many people started speculating that the woman might have been the victim of trafficking and was trying to escape her captors, but others believed that she had a totally different motive. Several viewers mentioned that if she really had been in danger, she wouldn't have hid from the neighbors when she saw their driveway lights turn on. Another thing that caught viewers' attention is the fact that at the very beginning of the video, the woman isn't actually running. She appears to be casually walking up the steps, and she only begins to run when she comes into view of the doorbell camera, which suggests that the whole thing might have been a robbery setup. Less than a month after the footage was uploaded, El Paso police arrested 34-year-old Krista Nicole Cordeaux for burglary. After her mugshot was released, some people believed that it was the same woman from the video due to the
Really?
resemblance, but police never officially confirmed this. It's unclear if she was ever seen in the neighborhood again.
See, it's kind of hard to tell because it is like nighttime, so you can't really tell. But that's sad. Like, See, I'm very conflicted because I feel like maybe she did really need help. Like just the way she was distressed, crying. Like she did look terrified, but you just nunca sabes.
In 2022, a Reddit user uploaded this disturbing Ring camera footage with the caption, "Zombies want your brain." The video shows a young man in a bandana covered in what appears to be dirt or blood, repeatedly slamming himself into the front door of a house. On his third attempt to break down the door, he apparently knocks himself out after hitting his head. Stumbling after the impact, the man collapses over the front porch railing, knocking over an ornament in the process.
He knocked himself out trying to open that door. He has to be on something. My God. I'm just very happy that nowadays I feel like doors are very sturdy. Like you can't just, shove it down that easily no more. Like,
He groans in pain as he flails his arms and raises his legs, seemingly trying to get back on his feet. But the video ends before we can see what happened next. After the footage was uploaded, many viewers commented that the man was probably under the influence of hard drugs, which would explain his uncoordinated movements and violent behavior. Other users suggest that he might have had a seizure after hitting his head on the door. But because the video was uploaded with no context or explanation, it's impossible to confirm what actually happened. After that night, the homeowner never saw the man again.
Yeah, that's so sad.
On July 24th, 2021, a woman named Caitlin Curtis took her baby to the park across the street from her house in Arizona. After sitting down on the bench next to a fountain, a scruffy-looking man suddenly approached her, sat on the bench next to her, and asked her if she wanted to buy his drawings. According to Caitlin, the drawings looked like they had been drawn by a little kid, or by someone with no artistic talent. After politely refusing to buy the drawings, she got up and left the park with her baby in the stroller. As she was leaving, she saw the man get into the passenger seat of a suspicious-looking truck at the other end of the park, which then circled around her several times as she made her way back home. Afraid that she was being followed, Caitlin took a different route back to her house and entered through the back door so that the men in the truck wouldn't know where she lived. 3 days later, when Caitlin was out of town, her doorbell camera captured the same man walking up to the front door of her house and ringing the doorbell at 3 in the morning.
The same man. Why are you pulling up to her house at the middle of the night? Like, why? He really thinks she's gonna open the door. He's literally just waiting for her to open it.
According to Caitlin, her husband was asleep while the whole thing was happening, and he didn't learn about the man's visit until the next day. After the video was uploaded to TikTok, some users commented that the fact that the man rang her doorbell specifically was not a coincidence, and that he might have been watching her from the day they met in the park. It's possible that he was using the drawings to try and distract her, while the other man in the truck abducted her child, but we'll likely never know his intentions for sure. The incident could just be written off as a man who was under the influence of drugs or suffering from mental illness, but if Caitlin hadn't been careful, it's anyone's guess what might have happened. Fortunately,
I feel like especially when you have kids, you just have to be twice as, careful. You don't know their intentions. You don't know anyone's intentions. And then with a child or like you going by yourself places, like with your kids, you really have to be fully aware of what's going on.
the man never came back, and neither Caitlin nor her family had seen him again. In October 2021, Reddit user Protomancer uploaded this footage of a man crawling and slithering through his neighbor's yard in the middle of the night.
What the hell? He's on all fours. What? Is he even wearing clothes? Is he butt ass naked?
There doesn't appear to be any context surrounding the video, but most users attributed the man's particular behavior to drug use or possibly mental.
Apologize about the lighting in this video. I really wanted to have natural lighting, you know, from the window behind me, but no, it got really windy as soon as I started filming, and then I noticed it on my little viewfinder next to me. So I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. It looks bad.
Illness. Even though he isn't hurting anybody, this is probably not the type of person you would want to run into on your way back from home in the middle of the night. The man in the footage hasn't been identified, and it's unclear if he ever showed up again.
Yeah, imagine you come home after like a night out, you had some drinks, right? You're a little buzzed, a little tipsy, and then you see your neighbor or whoever this is just crawling on all floors across the road, like just going down the neighborhood. Like, what the heck? That is the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I will just see you in the next one. Bye!